Am I the a-hole for not sending Coworker my template after he basically used my stuff in a meeting and didn't mention I helped? I, 28 male, work on a small team, and there's a newer guy on our team. I'll call him Joe. We sit near each other, and our work overlaps a lot, so I've helped him out here and there. A few weeks ago, he asked me how I put together a weekly report we have to do. Over the years, I've made my own templates and developed a routine that makes it much faster. He asked if I could send him my template file. I told him I'd happily walk him through how I do it and explain the steps, but I didn't really want to just hand over my exact file. It's basically my personal workflow, and I've tweaked it over a long time. So I stayed after work and spent about 45 minutes showing him everything. I shared my screen, explained where I pull the numbers, the order I do things, what to watch out for, everything. He took notes, thanked me, and seemed totally normal about it. The next week, we had a team meeting and Joe presented his report for the first time. As I listened, I realized it was basically my report. Same structure, same everything. Even a couple of little phrases I always use when explaining the numbers. When our boss asked him how he put it together, Joe said something like, "I built a simple structure that makes it easier," and left it at that. There was no mention that I'd spent time walking him through it. After the meeting, I pulled him aside and said, "Hey, I'm glad it went well, but it felt weird hearing you use my exact structure and wording and not even mentioning that I helped you." He got defensive right away and said he didn't think he needed to credit anyone for help and that I was being insecure for even bringing it up. Since then, he's been asking again for the actual template file, saying things like, "It would save time," and "I already understand it anyway." I told him no and said I'd answer questions if he got stuck, but I wasn't sending him the file. Now he's been cold to me, and I've heard he's telling people I'm gatekeeping and trying to make him look bad. A couple of coworkers said I should just send it because it's a team environment and it's not that deep. I don't want to be the difficult person, but I also feel like I already helped him a lot, and he showed me exactly how he's going to act with it. Am I the a-hole for refusing to send the template? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. I genuinely hate the "it's not that deep" crew, because it is that deep. Yeah, that phrase gives me the shivers and always seems to be used to manipulate others. It's somehow become right up there with "you're too sensitive" and "can't you take a joke?" Not the a-hole. If he wants credit for the work, he should, do the work. Bingo. Here's an idea that might not only show that he did not do this on his own and make you look like the ultimate team player. Send the file to everyone, including your management team. Explain this is what the idiot, though maybe not use idiot, used, and you think everyone will benefit by using what you created. Then sit back and enjoy the circus. This is the way. Other people taking credit for your stuff sucks. But if you share with everybody, do a little team presentation on how it works and maintain the template, you're the company expert on it, and everybody knows it. Not the a-hole. Do not share your template with him. And depending on your relationship with your manager, it might be worth saying something. I wouldn't full-on tattle on him, but I would bring it up to make sure your manager is aware of your work. I am really happy to see that Joe's presentation went well. I met with him last week and spent about 45 minutes walking him through my template and giving him some general tips. He seems to really appreciate my template and has been asking for a copy of it, so it had me thinking that this might actually be a great resource for the entire team. Do you have any objections if I shared this with our team? This is the advice I recently gave my husband in a very similar situation. When his report is used and not credited, mention to the shared manager that he's really glad that the copycat guy liked the report that husband wrote and that he's glad it was useful and valuable enough to be shared. Act like it's a compliment, but make sure management knows the source of the work and ask a question or offer an action to back up the origin claim, like offering to share the template with the team or lead a short meeting to help everyone get on the same page with it for consistency reasons. It's not tattling or whining if you're flattered, and then offering to do something to help the team or company. Next story. Am I the a-hole for kicking out my brother after he threw a party in my house without my permission, completely trashing the place? About 2 nights ago, I received a call from my neighbor explaining that there were multiple cars outside my house and loud music coming from inside. I immediately asked my neighbor to knock on the door and ask what was going on. He was told it was a party. I was out for the night with my girlfriend and was absolutely furious, as we had previously made it clear, no parties unless I give permission. A little backstory, my brother broke up with his girlfriend, whom he was living with, and we gave him a room in my house until he saved up money from his job to find his own place. We had some basic rules, like cleaning up and helping out around the house. Anyway, I thanked my neighbor for notifying me and immediately went home. When I arrived, the music was still loud, and I walked into a dirty house with glasses everywhere and a bunch of drunk men and women. I immediately found my brother and shut it all down. Once everybody had cleared out, we had a massive argument, and I ended up kicking him out that night. The living room was completely trashed, with one of the glasses shattered all over the floor and alcohol spilled everywhere. The next day, my brother called me and we had another argument, with him calling me an ignorant a-hole and insulting me. Am I the a-hole for kicking him out in the middle of the night? Not the a-hole. Congrats to his ex for breaking up with him, though. She dodged a bullet. I agree, even if he's my brother. Listen, you are not responsible for the fact that this person just happens to be born from the same parents you have. Some people are dumb, period. I feel the answer here is obvious, but I understand the need to feel validated in your reaction. Not the a-hole. Your brother never should have thrown the party, and I think the consequences of doing so was pretty fair. Thank you. I just needed an extra opinion on the whole situation. Is your brother perchance a high school junior instead a grown man who had a live-in girlfriend? Because that's the age that usually does this nonsense. He's 19, so surprisingly he's an adult. For the sake of argument, if one wants to hold a party at a property they own and is unconcerned if their place gets wrecked, then I suppose that's a weird flex. But morally okay, it's their place. If a tenant decided to do this, then the tenant would catch hell from their landlord, and properly so. Renting a property does not make your home your property. If a guest decided to hold a party at someone else's place and was unconcerned if the place got trashed, then I suggest that person read the Odyssey. Not James Joyce's Odyssey, but Homer's. A large number of very bad guests were dealt with summarily. If a guest decided to do this at my place, whether I was a landlord, tenant, or sibling, I would acknowledge that I am not Odysseus, but I would still kick said guest's ass to the curb. I don't know if you two had any specific rules or an arrangement about what he could and could not do, but I don't think that is important, since common courtesy, known for millennia, dictates that a guest does not mess up the host's stuff. Your brother is an a-hole, you are not. Next story. Am I wrong for kicking my pregnant little sister out because of her new views about beauty and attraction? Okay, I don't know how else to say this without sounding like an a-hole, but my sister has turned into a full-on puritanical weirdo bitch, and she's been playing jump rope with my nerves. For over a year now, she's been on this thing where she doesn't believe in beauty or ugliness and thinks the entire concept of finding people attractive, calling someone pretty, saying someone looks nice, any of that stuff is morally wrong. Not just for her, for everyone, period. Like, she genuinely thinks it's unethical for anyone to do it, ever. This was going on long before she got pregnant, so no, this isn't hormones or whatever. She was already like this, just less in my face because we didn't live together. Then she got pregnant. Her boyfriend kicked her out because she wants to keep the baby, and I let her stay with me because she's my little sister, and I didn't want her pregnant and homeless. I thought it would be annoying but manageable. It was not manageable. Living with her is freaking exhausting. Everything turns into a lecture. Everything is moralized. My boyfriend literally cannot exist in the same room without her finding something to be offended by. If he tells me I look nice, problem. If he says I'm pretty, problem. Not even to her, it's to me directly, his girlfriend in our own apartment. And before anyone asks, yes, he respects her boundaries. He does not comment on her appearance at all, ever. She still gets pissed because apparently the concept of someone being attracted to someone else is wrong. She's complained to me multiple times about him calling me pretty in front of her, like that's some kind of violation. She straight up told me it makes her uncomfortable that my boyfriend is attracted to me. Like, I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to do with that information. She also goes on these weird freaking rants about sex and desire, and how finding pregnancy beautiful is fetishistic and corrupt, which felt really pointed considering she is literally pregnant and living in my house. It's like living with a damn shaker. I tried talking to her. I asked her to stop commenting on my relationship and keep this stuff to herself while she's staying with me. She said she can't, because it's harmful to let people engage in that kind of thinking unchallenged. So basically, she sees it as her moral duty to be freaking unbearable. At a certain point, I just couldn't do it anymore. I was uncomfortable in my own home, walking on eggshells, feeling judged every time my boyfriend said something nice to me. So I told her she couldn't stay anymore. I didn't toss her out immediately. I gave her time, but I told her she needs to find somewhere else. I feel like crap because she's pregnant, but also I don't know how much I'm supposed to sacrifice my sanity because my sister decided to become a puritanical goblin who can't shut the heck up. I'm getting the vibe your sister didn't actually want the baby. She may have tried to baby trap, accidentally or on purpose. It didn't work, and now she's lashing out at the relationships around her. Girl is a mess. But you're right, you need to protect your peace. She's only had a problem with immoral compliments and attraction in any form since her boyfriend refused to play happy families with her. Regardless of whether it was a failed attempt at baby trapping, the failure of her relationship is her excuse for making everyone around her miserable with utter nonsense. She needs a swift dose of reality. Triggered my left sock. She's envious and bitter. I'm curious how she got pregnant outside of marriage if she believes attraction is morally wrong. She had sex, if for no other purpose than at least personal satisfaction. How is that not morally wrong? But your boyfriend calling you pretty is wrong? You're not the a-hole. If she's going to be this way while she's depending on someone for help, then she can do it her way, on her own. You're not asking her to compromise herself, just asking her to let you live your normal life. You're not hurting anyone, and you're not asking anyone to take part in it. I suspect that your sister is not mentally well, but that isn't your problem right now. You do not have to give up your peace or potentially damage your romantic relationship because your sister has lost her mind, pregnant or not. You do not have to endure her constant attempts to control the people around her. Having beliefs and reasonable boundaries is one thing, but she was openly attempting to control the behavior of you and your boyfriend in your home. Not cool. You tried quite hard to make it work, but she wouldn't let up. So I'd say she clearly moralized herself straight out of a place to stay. You did not ask anything unreasonable of her, and you gave her several chances to back off. She will have to figure out on her own that she cannot try to control or dictate the behavior of others if she wants support. No one is going to put up with her desperate attempts to force others to adhere to the strange beliefs she's concocted to address her mental issues. No one is going to tolerate her constant intrusions and moralizing. She desperately needs mental health treatment, especially before she has a child and tries to teach them these backwards conflicting beliefs. But I suspect she feels there is nothing wrong with her, so I doubt she'll seek help on her own. Maybe you can talk to other family members who are in a better position to help her. You need a break for now. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling our parents not to segment their money and whatever is left is left? I am one of 4 siblings, 3 boys and 1 girl. I am one of the boys. Our parents called a family meeting to discuss end-of-life matters. It was a hard conversation. Our dad is sick and probably does not have much time, maybe a year or 2, and he is refusing treatment. The discussion covered final wishes, inheritance, and care for our mom if she were ever to need it. The biggest point of contention was inheritance. I suggested they not segment anything, and that whatever is left after our mom passes be split equally among the 4 of us. My siblings who have kids want it to be segmented so they can guarantee their children get something. One even suggested doling out a portion when our dad passes. I will say that generally we are not transactional, but our father has always been a very regimented individual. This conversation was about 4 months ago, and it turns out our parents chose not to break anything up now, and to leave everything to our mom. When she passes, the estate will be liquidated and split equally among the four of us, with no consideration for grandchildren. They also made me their financial durable and healthcare power of attorney. I thought this was fair, but my siblings are upset and have accused me of meddling in things I don't understand. They claim that because we don't know what the future holds, I should have had their backs by getting something now, at the very least. I understand that it could have helped with college expenses and similar things for my older brother. My oldest nephew will be heading to college in 2 years. I'm looking for an outside perspective. My siblings feel I should talk to our parents, recant my suggestion, and encourage a more equitable distribution. They seem to be under the impression that, had I not said anything, that is what our parents would have done. I don't know, but I'm open to outside opinions. Am I the a-hole here? Nope, not the a-hole. Her money is for her benefit and her benefit only. If you are in the US and your mom's health declines within 5 years, stroke, heart attack, traumatic brain injury, etc., and she doesn't have enough money, government insurance to pay for a nursing home has a look-back period. They will not pay if they see that assets or money were given away within 5 years, until the dollar amount of what was given away is spent toward the cost of care. In other words, you kids would have to pay back toward the nursing home bill whatever you were given early. I don't think inheritance would impact the 5-year look-back, but that is something to consider, and I will look into it. Though to be frank, I would go bankrupt before I left our mom in that position. Not the a-hole. Your siblings, however, are disgusting individuals. Your parents' money is exactly that, your parents, and your mother may need it for her future survival, medical care, or if she is lucky, travel and enjoyment, as is her right. I agree. Who even makes this an issue when their parent is dying? I wouldn't be able to care about inheritance at this time. His mother deserves the money, so she's taken care of for the rest of her life. People with kids can become so entitled. They chose to have children, so that's their problem now. It is not the responsibility of parents to provide for grandchildren. Those children should be provided for by their own parents. If your siblings want more money, they will need to earn it themselves or take out loans for their needs. Your parents chose to have their estate divided among all of their children. Your siblings need to accept that parents can decide how they want their estate distributed. Side note, your parents could have left everything to the local animal shelter and the siblings would get nothing. So they should be grateful that they will get something when their parents have passed away. Please be sure an inventory is included with the end-of-life documents to reduce any squabbling or outright fraud attempts when the time comes, because it seems as though your siblings are upset about not getting paid now. You are not the a-hole for suggesting your parents have their estate split equally among their children.